Once you consider,
I like the fact you say you
consider.
Wait,
error.
Excuse me. I like the fact you said that you concede goal from error, because you are the same person that said that if there is no error, there will not be goal.
It's not from the error of the defense, from the VAR error, because that's not offside. We know.
Let's get it started. Play ball.
Barcelona front three are on fire. 3 of them scored in this encounter to beat Borussia Dortmund 4-0. Lewandowski with 2 goals, raphinha with 1, and Yamal with the last goal of the game. This front three are the best front three in the whole Europe right now. If you look at that game, Barcelona dominated from beginning to end. It was a one-way forward game. They had about 30 shots, 20 on target. They were just scoring, holding ball position. I think Barcelona are one of the most informed team in Europe now, and they are one of the favorites to win the Champions League this season. Okay, guys, if you look at that game in particular, Barcelona, let's lead the front three first. The coach has done a fantastic job. He made them not only passing. Now they pass and they even score goals, scoring a whole lot of goals this season. Look at Lewandowski, 50. Even what's his name? Raphinha having 50 goal and assists in one season. Nobody could even imagine it when he started this season. But if you look at it in general, good game for Barcelona, good win for them.
Yes, you can't take it away from them. You know, somebody here was saying that Dortmund are going to do this one, Dortmund are going to do this one. You know, Barcelona just came on the night. You know, no noise, no this thing. Catch the guy down X and 4-0.
After they don't, you know, now when you don't concede first goal from mistake, from referee's officiating error. You know, once you consider,
I like the fact you say you
concede.
Wait,
error.
Excuse me. I like the fact you said that you concede goal from error, because you are the same person that said that if there is no error, there will not be goal.
It's not from the error of the defense, from the VAR error, because that's not offside. We know.
How is it offside? They drew the line, and
they drew the line from the point of the guy's header.
So I think they drew
from the point of relevance.
From the not relevance. Now, if you see, let's. You're
talking about Yamal first goal, right?
Not the raphinha's first goal. Because from the point of the header, I think it was Inigo Martinez who nodded the ball. From the point of the header, he was onside. I'm not doubting that fact. But if it was a touch defender coming to raphinha, they would say yes, now onside. But in teammate, now he touched the ball last.
See,
Kubasi, and when at the point of Kubasi's touch, he was off.
Technology say that it's on. So
from that point of the first leave technology said it is a real election. When they drew the line, they drew the header and they drew the line. They didn't draw the Kubasi's touch.
This one is just
wait, you see, understand me. They drew if you look at the replay very well before the line was drawn. They drew the header, they showed you the header from the cross, they showed you the header. They didn't show you the touch from Kubasi. And they showed you the line where raphinha was standing. At that point, 2 people were keeping it onside. 2 people at that point.
The point is that the last touch was Kubasi nodded the ball. The ball was actually entering the post.
The guy that touched the ball last before raphinha.
So just
yes,
one question.
wait. No. Kubasi touched the ball. It was entering the post. I know. The raphinha now put leg. You get
one question.
The question.
The linesman blow offside, yes or no?
No, it's not even about linesman. VAR did not counted it as a goal, then it's a goal. But let's talk about stay in that.
Now on this same thing, we've talked about VAR inconsistency. With one goal down, the atmosphere of the game has changed.
Wow.
You know, you saw that at least, but I'm not saying Barcelona were not playing. They were playing their game. Kubel was making his saves, just like the same way Courtois was making his saves. You get Kubel was making his saves. They were playing their game. They were still coming on the offensive. You get not getting in the final third, but they were coming on the offensive. They were trying to close out the game in the midfield, trying to see if they can get anything from the game in the first half until that error came out from VAR. For me, it was a clear-cut error, and the mentality of the side just went AWOL.
Well,
whose fault though?
For me, I still don't think it's an offside, but you can argue about if that, because if you look at yesterday's goal, everybody can argue too that Trossard was a little bit offside in that game, but they decided, depending on how they want to use their technology, they actually gave it. But talking about that first goal, Raphinha scoring goal, now he is the highest goal scorer in the Champions League with it. Now, if you look at Raphinha, 50 goal and assists in a season, that means with Barcelona and Brazil, now he has his highest goal scorer in the Champions League. Good season for him. I think he should be, maybe if Barcelona wins the Champions League, maybe they should just give him Ballon d'Or.
It's not about maybe, because if you talk about somebody whose performance is as consistent as day and night, you talk about Raphinha. In the La Liga, he has about 13 goals and about 8 assists. In this same thing, in the Champions League, he's on 11 or 12 goals in the Champions League with 7 assists. If you go to other competitions, he is present everywhere,
He's
and you can't fight him. So if it's the conversation of the Ballon d'Or, his name is number 1.
Number 1.
QED.
That's the seat now. His name is number.
Good game for Raphinha.
But good game for Raphinha. The goal and the assist on this one. I think the assist that laid up Yamal. Good game for him. But Ballon d'Or, Mba. People had better numbers.
Wow.
Even Grandpa Salah is in a better number at Liverpool.
I'm just saying, if he wins the Champions League, that's
If
he wins
it's
the
a big
Champions League,
if.
there's a big if though.
If he
If he
wins
wins
La
the Champions
Liga,
League,
let's forget about Champions League for now. If he wins La Liga, he's number 1 on the list.
Okay,
wait. If he wins La Liga, look at it. If he wins La Liga, is number 1 on the list. Where is Brazil in the World Cup qualifiers in South America?
Are we using World Cup qualifiers?
Yes, because you talk about national.
No.
Wait. Now
No.
you see, I don't know why you guys use the same.
We are
different
not.
metrics. Wait, I don't know why you guys use different metrics. Last year it was the Copa America and Euros. This year there's a Brazil World Cup qualifiers that will take place more often this season or this year. You understand me? And also, wait now, and also the CAF African Cup of Nations. You get, so with this said, before maybe we play before that time, then you now use that one. If Salah now wins AFCON, what happens?
AFCON is happening in January next season.
If Salah wins AFCON,
after Ballon d'Or has been awarded,
Thank you.
And Champions League,
that's what I'm
is
saying.
out. Premier League is still there. And no, what about the World Cup? Because Egypt is stopping their group in the World Cup qualifiers, and they're still playing well. Salah is still putting in the numbers for Egypt.
Bro.
Wait now, because we're talking about this guy. His numbers are in Brazil. His numbers in Copa del Rey. His numbers at La Liga. Salah has the same numbers at Copa de Carabao Cup. Copa de Carabao. Salah has numbers at Premier League, has numbers in the Champions League for Liverpool, has numbers for Egypt as well. So you're not going to see if it's by
this conversation we are talking about. Nobody said that.
no, you say number 1. I'm not telling you another person that can be number 1.
On this
night,
is Salah in the quarter? Is Salah in these stages of the Champions League? Yes or no?
Leave the yes or no question.
No, yes or no, man.
Salah has number.
He's not. Raphinha is going further in the Champions League. Give or take, they may win it. That's on the side. They are topping the La Liga right now. Give or take, they could win it. You cannot take Raphinha out of the first 3 positions.
Salah cannot be taken out of the first 3 contests.
Yes,
so leave that number 1 spot empty.
Number 1, Raphinha.
Leave that number 1 spot empty. First 3, first 5.
Number 1, Raphinha.
Conversation should be Raphinha, Salah, Lewandowski, and Pogba Dembele. If you look at them, we might add Yamal in top 5. If you look at the players that actually perform very well this season, but they have to decide who. But I know
second highest goal scorer in La Liga.
Where I'm sure. Okay,
second highest goal scorer in La Liga.
But I know that Vini will not even be there. But talking about this particular game again, after that first goal, Lewandowski scored 2 in that game. Lewandowski is 36 years old and he's been scoring goals. He is the highest goal scorer in Spain in the Pichichi, 3 goals ahead of Mbappe, and he is 1 goal behind Raphinha in this Champions League game. Lewandowski is evergreen.
Now you say that is the player for World Cup, Ballon d'Or contender, and I will agree with my future. They don't dig for a head before. They don't rub up of Ballon d'Or when they decide not to give it. You get it. The next year, they are giving best striker instead of Ballon d'Or. So they've robbed him of the Ballon d'Or. In this year, he's earned it. If you say he's number 1, I will agree with you with style. You get, but I feel like this guy is the player that doesn't age. Last season, even when they didn't win the league, he was there scoring the goals for Barcelona and keeping them on track to contend for the title. This is another Hansi Flick. He came in as well with Hansi Flick, and Hansi Flick has another way of unlocking. If you saw the way they worked together in the Bayern Munich setup, he was a monster for Hansi Flick. He was scoring goals, hat-trick he was scoring the perfect hat-trick, left foot, right foot, header, body, everything. He was scoring goals with every part of his body. Now for Barcelona, he's doing the same thing for Hansi Flick again. Now it's the manager that knows how to unlock. Once the manager knows your mumu button, he go to press up until you function well. And I think Hansi Flick has just find a way to just unlock the beast in Lewandowski. 2 goals from Lewandowski, evergreen player.
You can't take it away from Lewandowski, and secondly, it doesn't get better than Lewandowski. It's not just about his pace, it's not just about his power, it's not just about his proficiency with the left, right, and the header. He has a trifecta when we come to that, because he's done it in the Bundesliga over and over and over and over and over again. A lot of people said that coming into the La Liga, there's going to be a drop-off. We didn't see any drop-off. It was an instant impact.
Yeah.
Coming into the La Liga, and he's been consistent season in, season out, and you can't take it away from him.
Let's go from Yamal. Yamal, he's been there. I don't know, that boy is 17. Is he 17 or 18 this year? I think it's 18. But that boy is something else. If you look at the way he plays the game, he plays the game as if he's 35 years old. The maturity, the timing of his passing, the way he moves with that ball, he's going to be a star. Probably he might not reach the level of Messi and Ronaldo, but if he continue in this particular,
it's on the table.
yeah, if he can continue in this whatever road he is in now, if he continues on that road, probably he might reach one of the best players in the world. He's 17. He won Euros at 17. Now he's doing all magic at Barcelona. Last goal, good goal. The way he even scored that last goal, he was just passed the ball into the net, and like, so it's like nothing.
He anticipated the tackle from I think he anticipated that tackle, and he chipped it over the and the goalkeeper didn't have a move, because the goalkeeper, for my mind, even myself, I feel like if that guy slide on time, he could get the ball. But when he came for that tackle and Raphinha just chipped it, I know the goalkeeper had no chance at it. And
Yamal.
Yeah, so when Yamal chipped it, I know the goalkeeper had no chance at it, and it was a good goal for him, good performance for him all round. Though at some point you said it was, I felt like it was going to take on defenders and go into the box, but when they choke out for the back pass, and that's the ability of knowing when to pass the ball and when to take on that, and that's something somebody at Manchester is missing out on. You don't always have to run into the defender. You look at the defender, you see that he's closing out the gap. You pass the ball backwards. At least they say backwards is the new forward. You pass back, you make a run, and the ball will still come and meet you in the front line. I think that was what he did in the game throughout, making the tackles, making the passes, making the runs, expecting the passes to come for him good. And in the last game, I think he came for him good.
Good game for Yamal.
Yeah, you can't understate the boy's talent. You can't understate the skill, because talent is one thing, skill is another thing, because skill is something you hone week in, week out with practice. And like you said, yes, the mantle, like, let me use another prophetic one now, the table of greatness is there for masters, right? And to be a master, you have to have a single mom work ethic. So it's being able to marry work ethic with persistence and consistency that makes you sit at the table of greatness. So that table is calling on Yamal. The question is he going to go the route of men that have come before him, or is he going to go the route of other people whose talent never even came to fruition?
Okay, finally, Barcelona is one of the favorites to win this Champions League. I think that they are favorite if you look at the way they play, even though they concede goals here and there sometimes, but their attack is the best attack in Europe right now. They are one of the favorites. But do you think that Hansi Flick and Barcelona can actually win this Champions League if they beat? Obviously, maybe they have to go to Germany and get a result against Borussia Dortmund. They play either Bayern Munich or Inter Milan. But do you think that they are favorites to win this competition now?
I wouldn't say favorite, because we are not yet at the semis. When we get to the semis, yes. You have to say they are strong contenders, but there are other contenders. Arsenal is a contender, and Paris Saint-Germain is a contender. Inter Milan or Munich, whoever survives that encounter is a contender. You know, so it could go anyway, but are they there? Yes, they are there.
What do you think?
Barca fans go, they hope they meet Inter. When they come against Inter, safe Sabi hold their medicine. If they say they meet Bayern Sabi their medicine. Bayern they beat them regularly. So either ways, if they meet Bayern or Inter, they are in trouble. So contender, maybe in conversation of it, maybe, but until they survive this one and survive the next one.
Okay, Barcelona scoring 4 against Borussia Dortmund to win that game 4-0. They are one of the favorites. In fact, as they said, 4 of them, anybody that qualified for the semi-final of this competition are all favorites to win this competition, because in football anything can happen. But in this particular game, the front 3 scored 4. Lewandowski with 2 goals, raphinha with 1, and Yamal with 1. Good game for Barcelona, good game for Hansi Flick. Let's see what will happen in the second leg of that encounter when they go to Germany to play Borussia Dortmund.